Most men hand their power away with two words, "You're welcome." It sounds polite, harmless even, but what it quietly says is, "What I gave you was nothing. I expect nothing. I am nothing." Words seem small, almost invisible in the moment, but over time, the way you speak teaches people how to see you and how to treat you. The Stoics understood something most men never will. A disciplined mind is reflected in disciplined speech, not in saying more, but in saying things with intention. Today, you will learn 13 laws of Stoic speech, 13 shifts that will quietly change the way the world responds to you. Law 1. Acknowledge your value. When someone thanks you, don't shrink. Don't say "you're welcome" as though you're apologizing for existing. Instead, say, "It was my pleasure," or "You can always count on me," because what you did mattered. And when you acknowledge it properly, you don't appear arrogant, you appear grounded. A Stoic does not minimize his effort. He recognizes it without needing praise, without needing permission. Own what you gave. Law 2. Reframe fault as grace. You arrive late. The weak man apologizes immediately, fills the room with his discomfort, and makes everyone remember the failure. The man of presence does something different. He pauses at the door, shoulders squared, and says, "Thank you for being so patient. I appreciate your time." That one shift changes everything. You've placed value on their time instead of placing shame on your name. Awareness, respect, emotional control. These are the traits people trust.
Law 3. Trust as power. Someone asks what you want to eat. Most men say, "Whatever." It sounds easygoing, but what it signals is something far more damaging. Indecision, no center, no self. Instead, say, "You choose. I trust your taste." Calm, simple, and something rare. The ability to let someone else lead without losing yourself in the process. Leadership is not always about deciding. Sometimes it is about trusting. Law 4. The attitude of growth. Someone asks if you can do something you've never done. Don't say, "I don't know." Don't say, "I'm not sure." Say, "I can learn this quickly," because no one begins with mastery. What separates the Stoic is not his current ability, it is his unshakable commitment to becoming. Speak as someone who can learn, and you begin to become someone who does. Law 5. Curiosity over pretense. You don't have the answer. The insecure man fakes it. The defensive man deflects. The Stoic says, "That's interesting. What do you think?" You keep the conversation alive. You show engagement, curiosity, openness, not ignorance. Because wisdom does not come from always knowing, it comes from being willing to explore. The man who asks the right question is always the most intelligent one in the room. Law 6. Receive what is true. Someone compliments you. Most men wave it off, brush it aside. They feel uncomfortable with value being assigned to them. Don't. Simply say, "Thank you." That means a lot. The Stoic accepts reality as it is. If someone sees value in you, denying it is not humility, it is dishonesty. Receive it with balance. That is quite confident. Law 7. Give without apology. You've been generous. A guest tells you there's too much. Do not apologize for your abundance. Say, "You deserve to enjoy this." Giving freely, without hesitation, without guilt, reflects something that cannot be faked. An internal abundance, a mindset of more than enough. The man who apologizes for his generosity has already lost something far more valuable than whatever he gave. Law 8. The weight of words. Words are never neutral. Every sentence you speak either builds your presence or slowly erodes it, like stone water, invisible until one day the stone is gone. The Stoics trained themselves to speak less, but each word they chose landed like iron. Not reacting, not rushing, just choosing carefully. Because careless words do not come from a careless moment, they come from a careless mind. Silence is not emptiness, it is preparation.
Law 9. The power of ownership. You made a mistake. The temptation is to protect yourself, to explain, to redirect the blame, to say, "It wasn't really my fault." Resist it. Say instead, "That was on me. I will fix it." There is no weakness in ownership. There is tremendous power. You do not lose respect by admitting a mistake. You gain it, because people trust those who are honest with themselves, and that kind of honesty is rare. Law 10. Stillness over ego. Someone disagrees with you. Your ego screams to respond, to correct, to win. Don't. Pause. Then say, "That's a fair point. Let me think about it." This is not a weakness. This is control. Because real confidence does not need to defend itself at every moment. It listens, it reflects, it chooses its response, not from pressure, but from clarity. The man who can be still in disagreement commands more respect than the man who always wins the argument. Law 11. Step forward anyway. An opportunity appears. Don't say, "I'll try." That is a pre-announced failure, a door held half open. Don't say, "I'm not sure." That is doubt dressed up as honesty. Say, "I'll handle it." Not loudly, not to impress anyone, as a covenant with yourself. Because growth does not come from waiting until you feel ready. It never comes from the sidelines. It comes from stepping forward, especially when you are not ready. Law 12. The art of ending. Every conversation has an ending. Most men fumble it, checking a phone, trailing off mid-sentence, vanishing without a word. The Stoic closes with intention. "I appreciate your time. It was good speaking with you." Simple, but the last thing said is what stays. The Stoic knows that beginnings and endings shape the entire experience. Leave people with something they did not expect, to feel seen, even briefly. Law 13. Presence as strength. Someone shares their pain with you. Don't rush to fix it. Don't minimize it. Don't say, "It's not a big deal." That is your discomfort speaking, not their need. Say instead, "I understand. That sounds difficult." And then be still. Not every problem needs a solution. Sometimes people need only one thing: to be heard fully without judgment. The ability to truly witness another person without flinching, that is not softness, that is a command. 13 laws, not tricks, not scripts, not performance. They are the architecture of a man who has decided, before anything else, to govern himself. Speech is not just communication. It is a reflection of your discipline, your awareness, and your inner command. The Stoics understood this deeply. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you always control how you respond, and your words are that response. So slow down when you speak. Choose deliberately. Remove what is unnecessary, because over time, the way you speak becomes your presence, and your presence shapes the life you build. If this landed, save this video. Watch it again tomorrow. And if you know someone who needs to hear it, send it without a word. Let the video speak for you.